everyone, it's Elaine. In today's video, I wanted to address when people are stuck in a religious cult, or it doesn't even have to be a religious cult, it could be any cult, and you can't necessarily leave, how to manage any like anxiety or panic attacks or depression in general. So for anxiety and panic attacks, what happens to your body is that your fight or flight nervous system gets activated, and the amygdala, which is like the threat detection center, like imagine it as an alarm right in your house, is comparable to the amygdala, and that perceives threat, registers in your brain, and then that's how your body responds. Like you could have, and also the thoughts that you're having could also contribute to your panic attacks, right? Or your anxiety, like the thought of going to hell if you leave the Iglesia Ni Cristo, which is the cult I was born in. So when I left the Iglesia Ni Cristo, I didn't know at the time that it was a cult. I just knew, my body and my mind just knew there was something off about the doctrines they were teaching. And because I was taught to shut off my intuition, that's when I started experiencing a lot of somatic issues, sleep issues. I suffered from a major depressive disorder. My skin was really bad at that time. I lost weight, so I went from like 125 to like 98 pounds, which was below my BMI when I was like 21, and I didn't seek help for it. And now that I'm in school to become a licensed therapist, I've learned a lot of techniques to regulate your nervous system when you are having a panic attack or an anxiety attack. So when you are in a state of panic, the first thing you want to do is kind of change your physical chemistry, because we can talk all you want, like someone could say calm down, right? But that's not really going to help. You really have to change the threat detection system, and change your body chemistry. So one of the ways you could do that is you can go in the shower and take a really cold shower, like you know how some people do cold plunges after they work out, or if you more are into hot water, that is something that you could do to regulate your nervous system too. If you're having an anxiety or panic attack, some people like to hold ice. It kind of helps them like snap their brain out of the panic attack or the anxiety attack. Another one, which isn't really talked about a lot, but is eating a sour candy. So say you're having an anxiety attack and you just keep having these ruminating thoughts, like, and these obsessive thoughts that just won't stop. One thing you could do to distract your mind is eat a sour candy, and that will kind of activate the nervous system, so that it kind of like redirects your body and it redirects your thought process. Another one is my personal favorite, but is using your five senses, particularly your smell. So I like to just spray some, this is a mixture, it's like a vegan spray. It has tea tree leaf, witch hazel, aloe juice. Another really good one is lavender. That really helps calm the nervous system down. It activates your rest and digest system. And on top of that, I like to stack my my technique. So maybe I'll spray some of this, I'll eat a sour candy, and I'll do some deep breathing. And a lot of the times, a lot of people, well, they'll say to breathe, but they're not breathing properly. When you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, one of my favorite techniques is the 4-7-8 technique, but I switch up the 7 because I can't hold my breath for that long. So I'll teach you the 4-7-8 technique. Technically, you breathe in for 4, you inhale through your nose, so hold it for as long as you can, and then exhale through your mouth. Your exhale has to be longer than your inhale, so that's why they say 8 seconds, but if you can do like 6 or 7, that's fine too. So you exhale, that really activates your nervous system, particularly the rest and digest system, which is responsible for a resting state, a more calm and centered state. So you want to repeat that deep breathing exercise approximately for 4 to 5 reps. And then another one is engaging in mindfulness meditation or listening to a mindfulness meditation. I particularly like to listen to meditations that focus on breathing, that kind of helps distract you away from those ruminating thoughts. You can also listen to sound healing. There's so many free sound healing meditations on YouTube. Depending on the frequency of the sound healing session, so this is a Tibetan sound healing bowl, and it sounds like this. Okay, that was a fail. But basically, the sound frequencies, depending on which frequency you're listening to, can put you in a state of meditation or trance, which is basically activating your rest and digest system. Engaging in any type of yoga is really helpful as well, because it really does incorporate breathing. Mindful breathing incorporates mindfulness, and then it helps your body relax, changes your physical chemistry and your physiology. And those are some techniques that I have to kind of help you when you are in a panicked state. Someone left a comment on my page about when you know rationally that the thoughts that you're having are not true, but your body is still perceiving those thoughts as dangerous because of the reptilian brain, which gets activated before the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logical, rational thinking. So that's why it's so important to regulate from bottom up as well as top down, so that it's holistic healing. A lot of Western practitioners forget about the bottom up, and we tend to focus on top down, which is like your thoughts and how that affects your body. But I like to think of top down, bottom up, so that you're healing your whole body. That's why they call it holistic medicine. But I hope you found this helpful. If you have any tips or tricks to combat or to meet your anxiety with compassion, perhaps, instead of seeing it as the enemy, please feel free to leave your tips. For others that are stuck in cults, I grew up in the Iglesia Ni Cristo. It was a religious cult, and I hope you found this helpful again. Please feel free to leave your tips down below for others who may be trapped or they can't leave, they can't readily leave yet. All right, talk to you in the next video. Bye.